This might be the most important. This is the most important video I have ever made. How many days, how many weeks, how many months is this going to be the lead story? This is all a huge distraction. This is all one big distraction. Make no mistake, I am not saying what happened was correct, appropriate, or in any way condoning the violence that took place. But it all just seemed to be too convenient for it to happen. There are videos that I have seen, and I'm sure many of you have seen, that show police officers, if you can call them that, letting thousands of people walk by. In fact, they are telling them to go in to the premises, onto the property of one of the most secure buildings in the world. 20 years after the most terrible day in our history, how are people allowed to just walk in to one of the most well-guarded properties in the world? I'm not saying that everyone was a perpetrator, everyone was an actor, but there were people that wanted this to happen. Why? For your attention. Have you seen The Social Dilemma on Netflix? All of these news companies, all of this social media, they are vying for your attention. They make money off of keeping you distracted. This is all one huge distraction. Those images of people looting, protesting, rioting, whatever you want to call it, will live in infamy forever. They have unlimited replay value, which is why I said they're going to use this as ammunition for your attention for months, years, until the next one happens. How much time have you devoted to looking at all this stuff? They want you to be distracted from the ultimate goal of life, I believe, and many others do as well. Being the best version of yourself. How long have you spent on your phone today? Do you know your screen time? Now, what portion of that screen time have you devoted to looking at this story? It's all way too convenient. What is the ultimate goal? That is what you have to question yourself. Question everything. Shakespeare famously said this whole world is a stage. I'm not saying this was all staged, but there were people in power that wanted this to happen. What was the ultimate goal? To enforce stricter policies on us? Or is it all for attention? To bring your attention and distract you away from the ultimate goal of you being your best version. Being the best version of yourself. How can you do that when everything that you're bombarded with, social media, mainstream news, who has the biggest platform on these social media sites? CNN, Fox News, ABC News, AP. I'm not saying they're all in some giant conspiracy, but when social media is not selling a product, you are the product. Your attention is their product. How many millions of views are on these stories, on these videos, on these pictures of what happened? How many times are they going to retweet this, rebrand this, re-show it over and over and over again? When something seems so easy, so convenient to let happen, sometimes the answer is right in front of you. I've seen people retweet this video saying, how could they let them in? How is this happening? Is it because they're white Trump supporters? No. That is what they're trying to do. Divide us. Hey, look at these people. If they were a different skin tone, if they were a different ethnicity, they wouldn't have been let in. They would have been dealt with immediately. That's the conversation they want to happen. That is what they are selling. It's sad to say, but in this reality, negativity sells. It always has sold more than positive stories. That is why I have made this channel, to promote more positive stories. But I'm not saying you should ignore mainstream media completely. No, I'm saying you know that it exists. Just don't let it take up your time. Don't let it consume your life. That is what they want. These social media, mainstream media, Hollywood, all of them are buying your attention. That is the product of 2021, 2022, 2030. Your attention is their product. And the more they can distract you from living your everyday life, doing what makes you the best version of yourself, meditating, exercising, going on walks. How can you do all of these things when you're bombarded by this negative story, negative stories? This past year has been nothing but a negative bomb cycle in the media. How are you supposed to live a positive life when all of the things that you are being told are happening are negative? 90% of all of the mainstream media pushes is negative news, and you're supposed to just be positive. I'm not saying this is a grand conspiracy that someone was told to let them in. Maybe they were. Maybe some individuals were instructed, paid, whatever you want to say, to let this happen. But the overall collective did not want this to happen. It was not staged. All I'm saying is the question: how is it one of the most secure properties, secure buildings in the world was so easily broken into, and there are videos showing the law enforcement ushering them in, like some ushers in a church. They were ushering him. Come on, come in. If these people were that dangerous, they would have stopped at nothing. The Patriot Act, this whole thing, this whole facade saying, oh, you're more secure, stripping away your rights. Well, where is that security? You're just going to let them go in? And apparently they had weapons, bombs. Washington, D.C. has the most police per capita in the whole country. Yet I saw 10 people, 10 security guards, 10 cops behind a barricade, and they were overwhelmed by a couple hundred, 1,000 people when they are fully armed. Why weren't there more people there? Why wasn't there more security there? It's all way too convenient. The more I talk about this, the more I'm proving my point. We are getting distracted from what we should be doing. Living our lives positively. Becoming the best version of yourself. Everyone just needs to question everything they are being shown. If it looks too good to be true, it probably is. If it looks way too convenient, you have to ask yourselves, who benefits from this? And if the answer is staring you right in the face, it's probably the answer that is the most obvious and is the most reasonable. They want you to be divided. Divided we fall, together we stand. They want someone to point the blame at and put all your attention on and saying, hey, these people are traitors, these people are evil, let's deplatform them, let's kick them out of the country. So who's next? Who's the next people that are going to be used as pawns or a black sheep to put all of our negativity on next? It is groupthink. It is mob mentality. That is something we should be moving away from. It's 2021 and we're using practices from the Middle Ages, from ancient times. Single someone out, make them the enemy. This type of mentality has to end, and I believe it will. Identify what they are trying to do. See who benefits from these stories trending for months, years on end. Let it come to an end. I'm not saying forget what happened. I'm not saying ignore what happens. To some extent, you should. Identify it as something that was negative and move on with your lives positively. We have to get back into a more positive mindset. And that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. This was a more serious topic, but in the end, we all just need more positive stories trending in 2021. Please hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already and want to support me on this journey I am taking. I plan on making videos 3 to 4 times a week. Some of it will be like this, spiritual information guidance videos and other positive stuff that needs to be trending in 2021. Again, thank you for watching. You are appreciated. I hope you have a great rest of your day and an amazing year in 2021. Namaste.